Am I wrong for telling my sister that she's the reason her kids don't have a father? So I, 27 female, have a sister Melanie, 25 female. She currently has two kids, Sam, 7 male, and Avery, 4 female, and is 14 weeks pregnant with baby number 3. The 9 male graduated high school. She convinced her boyfriend at the time to celebrate without protection. She told me herself she did it on purpose. And my sister turned up his parents' place 2 months later with a positive pregnancy test, saying how it's all gonna be okay and they can have a courthouse marriage and now then a real wedding after college. Because of course they won't have to worry much since his parents are financially comfortable and he's planning to get a degree in engineering. Needless to say, their relationship was over before the baby came. Our parents watched the baby so Mel could still attend college. She met a boy in one of her classes that was in pre-med, spent several months pursuing him until finally landing in a relationship with him, introduced him to the baby a few months in, learned he also wasn't interested in being a dad for a long time, if ever, and still went off her birth control and got pregnant a second time around. He tried to stay at first, but ended up getting accepted to a medical school across the country and basically left without another word. Now, my sister is pregnant with an older man who's married, who she's been having an affair with for the past year. She's claimed the entire time he's separated from his wife and getting divorced. But as soon as she told him she was pregnant, he dumped her and went back to his wife. Honestly, sounds to me like he wasn't really planning to leave her. And she said herself while ranting about it that she thought a baby would finally push him in the right direction. We were both in town and staying with our parents the other night, chilling in the living room, and my sister was complaining again about her past partners and how they're never there for their kids and that all men are irresponsible piss who just want to hit it and quit it when reality comes calling. She said she couldn't believe out of 3 men, all of them are so immature and cruel. Genuinely sick of her bull, I told her that the men aren't the problem, and the reason her kids don't have a father is because of her and her choices. I told her maybe if she didn't try to force guys into the role, she'd find one who actually loved her and the kids and want to be an involved parent. She started crying and yelling at me, and my parents had to take her out of the room. My mom told me it was probably better if I left, so I did. And both her and my father called me the next day to chastise me about how I handled the situation. I don't really think I was in the wrong here, but my sister is apparently still upset about it. First of all, trying to baby trap random men into having kids with you is crazy. Second of all, she's either truly unhinged and she thinks this is all fun and games, or for some reason, like she either had like a terrible background when it comes to her family, so she's searching for something inside her or like a void she's trying to fulfill because there's no way someone normal would do this. And then her parents are enabling her even worse, which literally proves my point that she must have some family issues because why would somebody do that? Like keep getting pregnant over like okay, when she was 18, yeah, she was young, she made a mistake, okay. But why did she keep doing it over and over? What? Am I wrong for telling my wife she was a liar and leaving? My wife and my mother have never, not even for a fraction of a second, got along. This was 100% my mother's fault. From the moment I dared to bring my wife home, my mom was hostile and saying my wife wasn't good enough for me and tried to get me to move back home. And yes, it's a culture thing. I'm Mexican. My wife is Irish. I cut my mom off for a very long time and it really pained me to do so, but it wasn't worth losing my wife. Well, my wife found out we were having a baby in December 22. We made the announcement in April, and somehow my mom found out. She started sending me mailed letters. I had her blocked off everything. And through mail, she expressed her desire to be a grandmother and apologized multiple times. Said she would do better and be more accepting. After many, many long discussions with my wife, she caved and said my mom was welcome here for 4 days. She lives in Mexico, but we have a spare room. But said I had better stand up for her endlessly if my mom acts up. I agreed. My mom saved up for 2 months to travel this way. We are in Colorado. She got here 2 days ago. Everything was fine at first, but tonight things hit the fan. Basically, my wife still has trouble eating. She's still nauseous, and whenever her breast milk comes in, it makes her sick to her stomach. She also can't eat when she's nursing because it makes her sick. Well, our daughter is cluster feeding, so my wife has a very small window of when she's able to eat. Well, my mom wanted to make a cultural dish tonight for dinner to treat us to a meal, but what she hadn't told us was that this meal takes around 4 hours to cook, and she started cooking at 4 p.m. My wife said she was going to eat something else because she couldn't wait that long to eat, and my mom was offended and said she was rude, which I immediately put a stop to and explained the situation. My mom stopped. When my wife was eating, she kept giving her looks. I said, Mom, stop it right now. And she scoffed and said something under her breath, and then turns to my wife and says, In my culture, this is unacceptable. Since you are raising a child in my family, you will learn better. My wife immediately screamed at her, Shut the F up and let me eat or leave. My mom threw the hand towel, grabbed her stuff, and left. I was so hurt by the both of them. I told my wife she was a liar. She told me she would let me handle it and she didn't. Instead, she made my mom leave. I know my mom was wrong, but why couldn't she do this for me? I then left. She didn't even try to stop me. She texted me and said, Why don't you go back with your mom? Am I the a-hole? You guys, I wanted to make a longer 1 hour video of crazy mother-in-law stories. So let me know if you guys want that. And as far as this story goes, I don't think OP's wife is wrong. You can't just come into someone's house and disrespect them. And but not everybody's gonna tolerate you like your children. People always forget that. I feel like mother-in-laws and father-in-laws and crazy family-in-laws in general, they always act like everybody's gonna tolerate them. You're his mother. You're not her mother. So honestly, if you get a line, someone's gonna talk back. At the end of the day, people, you can only respect somebody so much, especially when they're in your house and they're being so disrespectful to you.